Time for tips from the pros. This time, Carl Anderson's the man under the spotlight. Carl, what do you think the best bit of advice you could give to someone for practice is?
Probably practice. Take it seriously at times. When you first start, get into it, be serious about it. When you first get into a sport, you don't really practice half-heartedly. So darts is no other. I know when I was about 9, 10, 11, I did practice religiously on a board, and I did throw and made sure of everything. But yeah, just pretty much practice.
So for a player like me who doesn't play much at all but likes to play a bit at home, do you think it's really important to learn the board? Because I mean, obviously when I'm playing at home, if I miss a shot and I have to then stand there and go, what is that, minus that equals that, and then learn which doubles to try and hit, do you think it's really important that you should learn the board to keep your rhythm going?
It is very important. I mean, but on stage, we do get stuck at times. With the pressure of the situation, you think you hit this, and when you don't hit it, it does stump you a bit. But no, you hit it on nail on the head. Then, man, you got to make sure you know the board, know your ins and outs of the board, and because it helps you with the. It's not just about darts, but in general, every life setting, you're always taking stuff away. So dartboard is no different.
Right. Okay. So when you're playing, for the people aside that are watching it, but for when you're practicing, how do you think is best to practice? Do you just go out and throw at the board, or do you have little games that you play? How do you find it best to practice?
The majority of the time I just throw at the 20s, 19s and balls. But lately, a couple of years ago, I used to throw at doubles. You should play a game where you just go 3 darts at every double, including the ball, and just amount your total of what you get. And I think my highest is 600 and something when you add all the points up. So when you start missing the big numbers like 19, 20, 18, it starts to get crucial. Do
you think as a player, obviously doubles are massively important in a match situation, but some players I know they say they don't tend to practice doubles as much as others because they just think it happens naturally and you just throw at the board. For you, do you think it's best to stand there and practice individual doubles, go around the board, or do you think nowadays you've changed that maybe slightly and just you're looking for the scores?
I'm pretty much one of them scoring guys that says, look, I'll score pretty much, and doubles do its justice, but at times it doesn't do its justice, so sometimes you have to do practicing on doubles, and I do sometimes tend to go back to the old doubles things that I play, like just around the board and doubles pretty much, and it works out. I'm pretty good at double one, so you've got to start off at double one to get through. So.
Well, we'll find out how good you are at doubles with your double dart challenge later. But for someone who's playing home, they've been practicing and they go down their pub to play their first match, or they might be in a tournament. They've got Steve, they're playing Steve, their mate. How do we beat Steve? What do we do in our head to beat Steve?
Just tell him how good you are. Just say to Steve, you've got nothing on me, mate. You just keep going at it.
Get in his head.
Yeah, no, just take it as it comes, mate. If Steve plays well enough, Steve will go up. But if you play well enough, there's nothing to say that you can't.
So purely focus on your own game. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. If you play well enough, you win and you go through.
That's it, mate. Darts is a friendly sport in times. People do other stuff, but I see it as if you play your own game, you do what you do. There's no chance of you not getting through, mate. Okay,
so we've got one bit of advice to give everyone at home. If they're watching at home, you've got one thing that's helped you through your darts career. What would you say to them?
Keep up the belief. Dreams are just dreams, but if you keep believing, they do come true. And I'm a perfect example, man. I've come halfway across the world just to play darts, and if it can happen to me, it could happen to anybody.
There you go. If it can happen to Carl, it can happen to anybody. Thank you, Carl. There you go, top man. We'll speak to you again soon. Tungsten Tails and Unicorn Darts, keeping you at the sharp end of world darts.